The control of information and misinformation, as well as disinformation, is one of the most powerful and diabolical tools that the Illuminati has been using since its very beginning, in whatever form. Print newspapers, magazines, mail letters, reporters, announcers, movies, news journalists, radio and TV news stations and anchors, the World Wide Web. The best way to do this, as they discovered hundreds of years ago, is to own the sources of mainstream media. The fact of the matter is that television, newspapers, magazine publishers, radio networks, and film studios are largely owned and operated by Illuminati branches. Many of the tools and fools in these networks and operations, MSNBC, Fox News, CNN, CBS, NBC, ABC, etc., don't even know or realize it for the most part. But this is the reality. Editorial policies are put in place, okay, and producers and editors are positioned to act as gatekeepers to prevent unwanted information from being presented to the masses. Much like how press secretaries for the president have behaved and misbehaved in the way they treat journalists in the White House press room, an utter joke. While not 100% effective, since not even the Illuminati obviously are going to be perfect even in their evil and corruption, they have proven their ability to drastically minimize the amount of news stories from making it into print or on the airwaves that could be considered unfavorable to Illuminati goals and workings. Now, with the news media, aside from acting as gatekeepers, these people also receive from their handlers as to what stories should be produced, aired, and what angle they should have. If a particular issue or person needs to be presented in a favorable light, then this is what will happen. In 2008, former White House Press Secretary Scott McClellan reported on CNN that the White House gave regular points to several hosts at the Fox News channel. The 2004 documentary, Outfoxed: Rupert Murdoch's War on Journalism, details how Fox News was used as both a mouthpiece and as an attack dog for the Bush administration. For 8 long, aggravating, and sickening years, this crap was happening. Leaked memos showed that orders came down from the top Fox executives as to which stories to run and what points to focus on, so the broadcast would fit a prescribed agenda and be far from truly, quote, fair and balanced, as Fox News ridiculously claims to be. Now, have you ever heard of, quote, Operation Mockingbird? Okay, well, Operation Mockingbird is a program that the CIA and other branches of the U.S. government implemented back in the 1950s in America in order to control the mainstream media in America, as well as media in foreign countries. It came out through congressional hearings. It was revealed that hundreds of millions of dollars had been paid to reporters, and that editors in key media institutions were also on the payroll, who often killed certain stories from being printed or aired. Yes, this did happen. It really shouldn't come as any big surprise though, right? Looking back at the original writings of Bavarian Illuminati founder, Adam Weishaupt, a person can see that back in the late 1700s, this German understood the power of controlling information. Weishaupt wrote, quote, "By establishing reading societies and subscription libraries, and taking these under our direction, and supplying them through our labors, we may turn the public mind which way we will.
In like manner, we must try to obtain an influence in the military academies. This may be of mighty consequence. The printing houses, booksellers, shops, chapters, and in short, in all offices which have any effect either in forming or in managing, or even in directing the mind of man. Painting and engraving are highly worth our care.
And of course, Illuminati members also understood how useful and powerful that controlling newspapers could be to smear their enemies. One letter, which was found in the original Illuminati writings, reads this way: "We get all the literary journals, take care by well-timed article pieces to make the citizens and princes a little more noticed for certain little slips." And of course, it's not just print and broadcast news that they control. The entertainment business has been fully infiltrated and is now dominated by Illuminati handlers and such like. The lords of the entertainment and movie industry, which have been mostly Eastern European and Zionist Jews, their names are there. It's a matter of record. It's not a matter of being anti-Jewish, but a matter of being pro-reality and pro-facts, have made sure what types of attitudes and propaganda get shoved in people's faces, eyes, ears, and throats for decades now. Look at the development. When you look at how over just one generation or so, television shows went from I Love Lucy, showing a husband and wife sleeping idiotically and unrealistically in two separate twin beds, because the silly networks wouldn't allow a couple, a lawfully married couple even, to be shown in bed together at all, to, okay, some years later, the Brady Bunch, Mike and Carol, sleeping and hugging and kissing on the same bed. Okay, no problem, that's cool. To NYPD Blue and Desperate Housewives and Nip Tuck, bordering on softcore pornography. It's kind of clear a rapid loosening in that kind of thing has occurred in really just a few years, when you analyze it. In programming, loose conduct, you know what I mean? While ignorant people claim that television doesn't really affect an individual's behaviors, fact is that the social and cultural and subliminal and the overt changes are clearly noticeable. Sluttiness, violence, and disrespectful and destructive and horrible behaviors are either tolerated and sometimes celebrated and encouraged by many of today's most popular television shows and musicians, etc. With most people knowing more about vain garbage like, you know, which celebrity recently got pregnant or broke up a relationship or had a run-in with the law, than they know about what's happening in the national politics or in their community. The Illuminati easily continues to move and thrive with little opposition. It's no accident that shows like The Insider and Extra and Entertainment Tonight and Access Hollywood and TMZ and E! Entertainment and Reels Channel, Who Said What, and silly so-called, quote, reality shows, and that petty issues and celebrity gossip and inanity are the top stories in a lot of the media, and the majority of the brain-dead public is oblivious to reality. They are mesmerized by the mainstream media, the mainstream mierda, and are unconcerned and of course are unaware of their own ignorance. They don't know what they don't know.